Hey folks, today's a good day, and welcome to Throw It On Thursday. Today, I'm going to be throwing a pork tenderloin onto this smoker. What's Throw It On Thursday, you might be asking? Well, it's a new series I'll be doing where on Thursdays, I throw something on either the smoker or the grill or maybe a frying pan and cook it up. Today, I'm going to be cooking up this pork tenderloin. It's a nice, simple, easy cut of meat, pretty lean, not a lot of fat on it. It's not like a pork butt where you're going to be making pulled pork that needs to slow smoke all day long. This, I think we can get done in a few hours. So let's head into the kitchen and get this pork tenderloin prepped to go onto the smoker. There's really not a lot of prep work for one of these pork tenderloins. First of all, I should let you know, I bought this at my local grocery store. It's actually a prepackaged pork tenderloin made by some pork company. My grocery store does have pork tenderloins in the butcher cabinet, but I thought this was a little more convenient. Actually, who am I kidding? I didn't go grocery shopping, my wife did, and Patty knows what the best deals are, so she got this really nice pork tenderloin for us. First of all, we need to take this plastic off because, smoking pork tenderloins in the plastic covering is not a good idea. Okay, time to get the plastic off of this pork tenderloin. First of all, I apologize for the general dirtiness of my stovetop. I've been trying to clean it. Anybody can recommend a good video to watch on how to clean these glass stovetops. I'd really appreciate it. So let's cut this plastic off this tenderloin here. Oh, it's actually two tenderloins. What a surprise. I like that. This really is turning out to be a good day. I can do a little experimenting on each one of these. I'm gonna just get these cleaned off a little bit and dried up, and then we're gonna put some rub on here. Like I said, this was quite a bonus. We got two different pork loins in here. So I'm gonna season them up a little differently than I was anticipating. One of them I'm gonna make it a little bit spicy, give it a little Cajun kick with some slap ya mama. And the other one I'm gonna keep pretty simple with Kinder's The Blend, which is just a salt, pepper, and garlic blend. We are going to be cooking these on the smoker until they get to be about 135 degrees. At that point, I'm going to be glazing both of these with the same sort of glaze. I'm going to be making a maple bourbon glaze and putting on both of these tenderloins and finishing them by bringing the temperature up to about 145 or 150. It's time to slap your mama. Patty won't be eating this one. She doesn't like spicy things, so I'm going to be a little generous on my slap your mama today. But not too much. I don't want too much salt on here. There, that should be good. Now, for the salt, pepper, garlic. Kinder seems to be a really good seasoning company. They have a lot of different seasonings, and now they're getting into sauces and all sorts of things. I have a feeling they're growing a little too much, but we'll see. So this I'm going to coat with just some salt, pepper, and garlic. All right, my smoker is getting up to temperature. We're going to let these sit in here for a little while to absorb some of these flavorings, and then we're going to throw them on the smoker. It's up to 225. That's where we need to be to cook this pork tenderloin. I'm going to insert a probe. Hopefully this will give me a good idea when it's close to 135. I'll be doing spot checks now and then. So let's close her up and let the magic begin. The tenderloins are on the smoker doing their thing, getting up to 135 degrees. When they hit 135, we're going to glaze them. And I'm going to be using a nice simple glaze made with maple syrup and some bourbon. This maple syrup I got in the spring with Patty when we went to that maple farm, the Taps Maple Farm. Saw how they made this stuff, and it is delicious. I'll put a link to the video in the description. The bourbon I'm going to be using came from Maker's Mark. It's their private selection series. Patty and I went to visit the Kentucky Bourbon Trail last week. I did a little video. Hopefully you got to watch it. But if you didn't, Again, in the description, I'll put a link to the video. We're going to keep this real simple. Just going to add some maple syrup and just a splash of bourbon. I just wanted a hint of that flavor in there. Mix this up. Oh, very good. This is the first time I'm using this Pit Boss smoker. It's not a huge smoker. I think it's just perfect for me and Patty. This Pit Boss is currently set to 225. I'm going to leave it there for the entire cook. I'm using apple pellets. I like apple pellets when I'm smoking pork products. Gives it a nice flavor. Hey, you know, if you want to check out the video of me expertly assembling this masterpiece, I'll put a link in the description for that too. But again, who am I kidding? Patty put it together for me. We are about 1 hour and 15 minutes in, and we're up to about to 1:30. I think I'm going to move these around a little bit on here because this front one is looking a little smaller. So I'm going to move that to the back and move the back one to the front. And I think I'm going to flip them around. So about 5 or 6 more degrees and we're going to glaze these things. So we're at about 1 hour and 45 minutes and we're really close to 135 here. So I'm going to glaze these. Nice simple maple bourbon glaze. All right, we're going to let this get to about 145 and then take it off and let it rest a bit. These have reached the magic 145, so let's take them off. I'm going to bring these in the house and let them rest about 10 minutes. Well, here we are. Throw it on Thursday's first cook, pork tenderloin. Took a little bit longer than I was expecting, about 3 hours and 15 minutes altogether. The second part, getting it from 135 to 145, actually took about 1.5 hours. I was a little surprised with that, but you know what? If it tastes good, that's okay. So let's give these a try. I'm first going to try the salt, pepper, and garlic version. The salt is coming through right away. A little bit of sweetness from that maple syrup. And so tender, really nice. Now, how about the Slap Ya Mama version? That's got that great Cajun flavor. You know, for our first Throw It On Thursday, I think we have a winner here. As always, I'll put the recipe in the description if you want to try to recreate this. It's really good. And you know, you got 3 hours on your hand and a couple pork tenderloins laying around. This might be the thing to do. I'm happy I thought of that pork tenderloin to use for our first Throw It On Thursday video. I think it turned out really well. The other thing I really liked about this video is I got to reference back some of my older videos, including the maple syrup video, that Pit Boss video, and recently the Bourbon Trail video. Hey, if you want to keep up to date on some videos that I'm creating, please subscribe. It doesn't cost a thing, and you know what? It helps me out. I'd appreciate it. As always, I'm having a good day. I hope whatever you're doing, you're having a good day. See you next time.